Have you ever watched your entire life slammed onto a table in the form of one piece of paper? That's what it felt like, the sound of my father's fist, the eviction notice beneath it, and his voice, cold, sharp, final. You don't belong here anymore. Your brother does. He thought he was breaking me. But what he didn't know, what he never cared to see, was that I had already been broken long before. And broken people, we don't beg. We build. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I slipped my jacket on and walked out the door with nothing but a single bag. Not because I was defeated, but because I had been preparing for this moment for years. You see, my father always had a favorite, my brother, Adrian. He wore that crown like it was his birthright, reckless, spoiled, always cushioned by my father's excuses. When Adrian blew his paycheck at the casino, Dad laughed and called it youth. When I worked 2 jobs just to cover the bills, Dad sneered and called me lazy. I saved every dollar I could, but to him, I was stingy. Nothing I did ever measured up, not because I was wrong, but because I was me. So no, the betrayal didn't come out of nowhere. It was layered, scar by scar, year after year. That eviction notice? That was just the final nail. The house wasn't just wood and brick, it was years of my sweat. I patched the leaks in the roof. I painted every wall. I shoveled snow while they slept. And with one stroke of his pen, my father tried to erase me, but here's the thing about erasing someone, you can't wipe away what they've already written. Months before that night, I had started collecting everything, receipts, titles, bank records. My father thought he was clever making Adrian the owner. But I knew something they didn't. Paper doesn't equal power. The night my brother swaggered into his house, I was already gone. He expected comfort, control. What he found was silence. No electricity. No water. No internet. His boxes sat in the driveway, stacked like gravestones. I had cancelled every account in my name hours earlier. Clean. Legal. Untouchable. My phone rang. My father's voice thundered through the receiver. What have you done? I waited. Let him choke on his anger. Then I said quietly, you gave me 12 hours. I used them. And I hung up, but that wasn't even the real blow. The mortgage, oh, the mortgage. Adrian didn't own the house outright, he inherited a noose, wrapped tight with fine print. I knew every clause because I was the one who had been paying it while Dad conveniently forgot. The moment my name was gone, so were the payments. Within weeks, letters started flooding in. Red stamps. Threats of foreclosure. Desperation. Dad drained what little savings he had left. Adrian begged banks for mercy, but without income, they didn't even bother pretending to care. The showdown came on a cold evening in the driveway. I had come to collect my mail. My father was waiting, veins bulging, Adrian pale and trembling beside him. You ruined us, my brother screamed, voice cracking like cheap glass. I stepped closer, calm, almost pitying. No, Adrian. You ruined yourself when you thought a signature made you a king. You thought betrayal had no cost. You thought my silence meant weakness. He tried to speak, but I raised a hand. That house was never yours. Not in walls, not in history, not in sacrifice. You took it on paper. I took it in truth. The silence after that was heavier than any argument. For once, even my father had nothing to say. Weeks later, the bank swallowed the house whole. New locks. New owners. My brother was forced back into my parents' cramped apartment, his pride stripped bare. My father stopped meeting my eyes in public. And me? I didn't gloat. I didn't need to, because here's the truth, they never stole a house from me. A house is just walls. What they tried to steal was my worth. My dignity. My place in this family. And that night, walking away with a smile, I realized something my father never did. You can disown a son, you can hand over deeds and papers, but you cannot erase the blood, sweat, and scars that built the foundation. They thought they had destroyed me. But all they did was set me free. So now I ask you, what would you have done in my place? Would you have fought? Begged? Or walked away like I did, knowing revenge sometimes comes in silence? Let me know in the comments.